All right, Shalom. This is Har 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. When I say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakar Kodash, Ma'amaf. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. It's going to be a quick impromptu lesson, meaning unprepared, just wrote something out real quick. Just in the spirit, dealing with faith. And how the Lord said this. Let me get this real quick. There you go. It says here, Matthew 10 and 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Matthew 24 and 13. And he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right. So I believe that's going to be the basis of this lesson. Faith and continuing in that faith until the end. And the word endurance goes back to the word patience, long suffering. All right, enduring the affliction, the adversity, enduring this work and this labor and persecution, all the way to the end. And that same man, woman, or child shall be delivered. They shall be saved. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get Matthew's 14 and 22, because this is where we are. At some point you realize you followed the call. You've listened to the voice of the Lord, and it led you out into the open waters. And now we're standing upon that water. We're out in the deep waters. You got missiles flying over there in Ukraine. Some missiles hitting Poland. They're trying to build up for that war with Russia, with Poland and NATO. You got all hell breaking loose here in Babylon, called America. You got so many people that just don't believe. All right. Now let's read and see where the Spirit takes us. Matthew 14, 22. This is Matthew 14 to 22. And straightway Yahushua constrained his disciples to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. All right, this is spiritual, man. This is all spiritual. Same way the Lord is calling the disciples today. And he's sending the rest of the multitude away. All right. Into the ship. What's that? Like a sanctuary. Or you go according to Amos 9 and 8. All right. No, Amos 9 and 9. 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, some of the angels, and the Most High is watching, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. So Esau's sinful kingdom is going to be destroyed off the face of the earth. It's not going to rule anymore. Saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. See, not all Jacob is going to be destroyed with Esau and these heathens. Say if Yahweh, it's going to be a remnant, the elect, that endure in faith until their end or until the end. All right, because some may transition while they're in the truth, before the end comes. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. And this word and doing this work is part of that sift. The ones that can't get the doctrine, and also the ones that are not doing this work, the Lord has sifted them out of his circle. All right, he said he'll spew them out of his mouth. Out of his circle, man. You know? From being his voice. It says, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. See, that the elect being famous or not famous, the last brother to come into this truth, the newest brother, the weakest brother, whatever you want to call it, they're not going to fall. Just like he told Peter, don't look down. Keep your eyes on him. Press forward towards the prize. All right. He said, shall not the least grain fall to the earth, man. All right, just like he told Peter, you're not going to fall. All right. So the Lord is doing a sift. There you go. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So they're going to be destroyed, 2/3. And that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. See, the house of the Lord is love, the house of David, which is spiritual, are those that are in order under Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? And close up the breaches thereof. See, the Lord's going to close it up. He's going to seal up the way so that they can't get in. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. All right, so that's that. Get this, Matthew 14:22. And straightway Yahushua constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitude away. All right, even today, the Lord is sending us before him. You know, but the ship, and when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. That's like Yahushua going up to the heavens. All right, I'm matching everything to today. All right, so Yahushua, in spirit, he went up to the heavens to pray for us as well. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. All right. Where was I? All right, so now Matthew 14:14. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. All right, so the wind was slamming against the ship that the Lord told the men to enter into. Just like today, the Lord is building a spiritual ark. All right, and now he said the winds were boisterous. They started to come against that ship. And what did the ship do? The ship protects, the ark protects you from the sea, from drowning, you know? Just like the Lord he represents that ark today. The spirit of truth represents the ark today. And Yahushua is the captain of that sea. He's our navigator. All right. So it says, where was I at? As a matter of fact, it said the winds became boisterous, right? Get something else real quick. Matthew 7:24. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man who built his house upon a rock. All right, just like Noah built that ship through faith, and that ship was through the Lord, through the Spirit of the Lord was able to carry him through rough waters, through the flood, through the flood. And now the spiritual ship is able to carry us through fire. And the rain descended, see, and that rock that is built upon is Yahushua. And the rain descended, so the rain's coming. And the floods came, right? The scourges, right? And the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So the same thing stands today with the men of the Lord, to be founded upon the rock, to be in the ship, and be taken care of. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be like unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. All right, so, but the Lord said, the elect shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. But 2/3 is going to be a great fall. I mean, it's going to be many. All right, going to be a lot of them. Let's get back to Matthew 14:22. See what the Lord building in the spirit. All right, so Matthew 14 and 24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea. See, that's what I'm saying. This is the point we've reached. This is where we're at. As a collective, we're out in the midst of the sea now. We're out in the open. You know, we're out in the deep waters. We've come a long way, which is a good thing. All right. It says, in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. All right. That's like the affliction and the adversity that we go through here, because everything is contrary to us, to the spirit that we're moving in. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them walking on the sea. So in the fourth watch of the night, and also we're late into the night right now, spiritually speaking. It's, and also the fourth watch would be like military time. You know, you had your militaries watching certain hours of the day. All right, or certain hours of the night. And that fourth watch would be like 3 a.m. in the morning. So imagine that, out in the ocean, 3 a.m. in the morning. You know, it's dark. And the waves was crashing and the wind started going. And then you look out and see Yahushua standing on the water. They thought they saw a ghost. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they saw him. They're looking right at him. All right. All right. So this is how I depict Yahushua, me personally, because I don't believe he had a full head of white hair when he was on the earth. You know, I believe that's something that came later. But anyway, so they saw Yahushua walking out on the water. And mind you, the Lord said we're going to do that and greater. But they saw Yahushua walking on the water. So that's like us seeing Yahushua glorified in the heavens, on the waters. We know it, and we believe it, and we see it spiritually. All right. Matter of fact, yeah. Look at this. First Corinthians 13 and 11. No, 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. So we got a vision, a glimpse of the Lord. but now we're going to see face to face one day. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as also I am known. All right, so for now we see through a glass. We see the Lord in the distance, peeking through the lattice. Got a glimpse of the Lord. Get this. Here you go. 1 John 3:2. Beloved, now are we the sons of Yahweh, and it doeth not yet appear what we shall be. But know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is, man. Seeing him glorified. All right, that's like seeing him out on the water, seeing him out in the distance. We're on the land and or in the boat. And Yahweh shines in the heavens. All right. Just deep, man. So let me keep going. 14:25, I think it was. All right, so now Matthew 14:25. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahushua went unto them, walking on the sea. Right, in this picture they got it early morning, but it'd be darker at 3 a.m. So right now we're in that dark time, the darkest point of Esau's kingdom. All right, the climax of their kingdom, man. Deep into the night. About to go into the day. Verse 26, and when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. So they got scared when they saw Yahushua. All right, they thought it was a spirit. Jake was scared, man. They saw Yahushua out in the water. It was like, yo, it's a spirit, man. And they cried out for fear, But straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. Wow. The true Black Adam. The true Superman. Yahushua. Walking on the water. Just natural. Just Scripture say made him a little lower than the angels. He's able to walk on water. Manipulating the elements. That's going to be a natural thing to us in the kingdom. Now it says here, so Yahushua turned straightway to him, meaning that shows care and concern, man. He's alert and aware of our people. He's aware of our condition. He immediately was like, yo, I don't want them worrying. Let me go ahead and talk to him. And he told him, he said, yo, it's me. He told him to go out into the water. And he met them there. It's deep, right? Just like the Lord told us to go out into a secret place. And out into the sea of people and teach. And the Lord is going to meet us there. All right? Walk out on faith, and the Lord shall meet you there. Go into the mountains. Go into the Judean hills. All these were private, secret places where the Lord would meet us. All right? So, but straightway Yahushua spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer. Saying the Lord saying, be of good cheer, man. Don't listen to the confusion and the fear around you. Be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid, man. He's like, yo, don't be afraid, I'm with you. That's what he's saying. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. See, Peter had ultimate faith. He said, Lord, if it's you, tell me to walk out there to you, and I know I'll be able to do it. That's why we praying to the Lord, send me, O Lord. Who will go up and fight against the evildoers? And we raise our hand and say, send me, Lord. Call me out to the water. All right, verse 29. And he said, come. He told him to come on. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. See, we're walking on water now. When you realize it's deep, right? You look down, you realize you walked this far out into the ocean, and you answered the Lord's call. He said, come. Right? And he went to Yahushua. But when he saw the wind, see that? He was focusing on Yahushua, but then he saw the wind, meaning he didn't see the wind, he saw what the wind was affecting around him. It was affecting the waters, the loud noise, maybe a lot of rain, a mist, and it was nighttime, shaking the boat. He probably saw what it was doing to the boat. His clothes were probably moving all crazy, and that put fear in him. Just like the things today in this society. When the affliction comes and it alters things around you, and we become moved by the things around us instead of being moved in the spirit or being still. The Lord said that. He said that. Hold on 1 second, let me get this. This is Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. So that's the wrong one. Let me get this real fast. All right, this is Psalms 46 and 8. Come behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth, right? Just like the wind. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am Yahweh, that he's our power, right? And I will be exalted among the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth. All right, so it says what? Be still, man. While everything else is going crazy around you, the Lord's saying be still and focus on him. All right, and know that he is the power of all of that. All of the boisterous winds around us, the tumults of the nations, the wars, right? The affliction, adversity. The Lord controls all of that. Just like he showed Jonah with the gourd, when he put a hole in the gourd to show Jonah that the Most High controls all the affliction. He controls the way we're feeling and what we're going through. It's all for the purification of our people, man. All right. So let me keep going. This is Matthew's 24, or actually Matthew's 14, 25, I think. All right, so it says here, Matthew's 14 and 30, 29. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahushua. Think about that. He actually did it. He walked on water, man. And that's what we're doing. They thought it was impossible, but we're doing it. But when he saw the wind was boisterous, he was afraid and beginning to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me, man. All right, and when you begin to sink, that's what we do. We cry to the Lord. And we say, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, save us. And when all hell break loose, and we might be on our last leg, man, you know, the Lord might allow us to be tempted to that point. Almost to the point Yahushua was tempted. To where he said, Lord, hast thou forsaken me? And test everybody's faith. And he may show up at that last second. He said to redeem us from death, all right, and famine, and from the sword. Just like with Ezekiel, I think that was Elijah or Ezekiel. It might have been Elijah, but it's been so long I gotta read it. But with the crows that fed him, he was out in the woods. He was hungry, and the Lord fed him with ravens. All right, so as soon as we're about to begin to sink, you pray to the Lord, or if you this right here. This real quick. All right, so this is James 1:5. If any of you lack wisdom, and that's what keeps us up, right? The wisdom, Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of truth. So if we're lacking in that and we begin to sink, let him ask of Yahweh that giveth to all men liberally, freely, and upbraideth not. Meaning he's not keeping back the blessings from us. And it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. See where Spirit going? So those that wavereth in their faith, I don't know, man, or you know, you start getting angry and want to do something violent out here, you know, all these different things, or you want to give up. Well, the Lord said that person's like the wave of the sea, driven with the wind, see, controlled by the things around them, instead of being driven by the Spirit. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And that's what the Lord was showing Peter. Like, have complete faith and you won't fall. When you double-minded, you get nervous, start looking back in fear, you're going to start to slip and fall. Ultimately, could drown. But we call out to the Lord for discipline, for strength. The Lord will indeed strengthen us in wisdom and discipline to continue to work, and in faith, and good cheer. All right? So we got to ask the Lord. That's calling out to him. So what that go into? Praying. All right, we need to pray. Pray without ceasing. Matthew 14:20 or 30. But yeah, verse 30. But when he saw the wind was boisterous, he was afraid and beginning to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately, see the Lord right there at the doorstep waiting to help. He's a present help. And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him. All right, and that goes into everyday life, in the spirit, and in the physical, and also in the last days when all hell break loose. And the Lord said, what? Fear not, thou worm Jacob, I will help thee. The Lord gonna help us. All right. And immediately Yahweh Shai stretched forth his hand and caught him. See, the Lord gonna catch us, man. And we're gonna be caught up to heaven. And said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt, man? See, all right, because when we see the things happening, this is bittersweet. All right, it's sweet to know about our salvation in the kingdom, but it's tough to know about the adversity we may go through, the atrocities we may see, and the wickedness that we see out here in the world. 2 Ezra 12:4. Lo, actually, that's not what I want. There you go. It says here, 2 Ezra 12, right, and 4. Lo, this hast thou done unto me, and that thou searchest out the ways of the highest. Lo, yet am I weary in my mind, and very weak in my spirit. This was Ezra's talking when he saw the vision of the Roman Empire falling. All right, 2 Ezra chapter 12. It says, and a little strength in me, strength is there in me, for great fear wherewith I was afflicted this night. See, and we are afflicted this night in these times. Therefore will I now beseech the highest. See, in the midst of our affliction and weariness and weakness and little strength, we beseech the Most High, that he will comfort me unto the end. See, we want to be comforted through this adversity and affliction all the way into the end. That's enduring to the end. I said, Lord, that bearest rule, if I have found grace before thy sight, if I am justified with thee before many others, and if my prayer indeed be come up before thy face, comfort me then, and show me thy servant the interpretation and plain difference of this fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. All right, so Revelations 3:8, I know thy works, behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. All right, our inheritance, no man can take it from us. For thou hast a little strength, that's that little bit of faith, and has kept my way, my word, and has not denied my name. So the Lord's going to help us. All we need is a little bit of strength. Yeah, so all we need is a little bit of, there you go. This is Matthew 17. Matthew 17 and 20. And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, all right, a mustard seed is one of the smallest seeds, but it grows up to be one of the biggest plants, biggest trees. So all we need is that much faith, just a little bit, you know. Ye shall say unto this mountain, just like we're saying unto these governments, prophesying against them, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Wow, that's deep, right? So the same way we're speaking to these damn devils out here, we're telling them and rebuking them, casting them down. All right? All right, so through the Lord's grace, he's going to uphold us so that we don't fall and drown, suffocate. 2 Corinthians 12:9. If he said, and he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. So, all right, in our weak state, we fall, we stumble, you get up 7, 7 times. So let's get back to that, man, because he lacked faith for a second. All right. And lacking faith doesn't always mean giving up. Lack of faith means also you could be angry, and get thrown off your course, right? Instead of having faith that the Lord can handle certain situations if He chooses to. Actually, every situation in our lives. Matthew 14 and 33. And immediately Yahushua stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? So imagine if Peter didn't doubt at all. Whoo! Imagine how more beautiful that moment would have been instead of missing the opportunity, instead of being distracted by the things around him. Imagine if he'd have just focused in that moment and trusted the Lord's word and been still and kept their eyes on the Lord and on the prize and on the things the Lord is saying about him, that he was going to be the rock, Peter, that he's of the elect and all these things, trusting in his power. Imagine how greater that moment would be if we were not distracted and able to be still and focused and move toward the Lord and go out to meet him and see what he has to say to us, instead of us falling all over the damn place. Oh, Lord. You got to reach out and grab your hand. He's like, yo, you doubtful, man. So, let's get some scriptures to back that up. Psalms 37 minutes. 63 and 8. Psalms. It says here, my soul followeth hard after thee. That's like in verse 7. Because thou hast been my help, therefore. Wow. Let me go here. It says here, verse 6, when I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches. Look at the night watches again. We're meditating on the Lord in the night watches. Because thou hast been my help. Therefore, in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice, meaning his covering, right? The Lord's protection. My soul followeth hard after thee. See, he calls us out to the sea, and we follow right at them. Thy right hand upholdeth me. See, keep us from slipping. He's upholding us through the Spirit, comforting us. All right. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go in the lower parts of the earth. They're going to be destroyed. They shall fall by the sword. They shall be portions for the foxes. Woo. All right. But the Lord says he's able to keep us from stumbling, keep us from falling. All right. This is John 10:27. So this is what I think about when the Lord said, come out into the water. It says what? John 10:27. My sheep hear my voice, man. So we see the Lord, we know him, and we hear his voice. I know them, and they follow me. See, we following the Lord out into the water, out to the sea, out to the quiet place. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish. See, that's that, like he said to Peter. That's that falling in the water. He kept them from perishing. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. So he's able to keep us from perishing, man. They shall never perish. Look at that. See, Peter should have known that. He should have stood right there and, 10 toes down on the water. But the story had to be written for us today, in case we lack faith or become doubtful of what the Lord can do. 2 Ezra 7:3. And I said, speak on my power. Then said he unto me, the sea, see, now it's going spiritual, talking about the sea. The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, and I think about Peter walking out into that in the sea. The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river, all right, a straight path to Yahushua out into the water. All right, narrow represents affliction, all right. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it, if he went not through the narrow? How could he come into the broad? All right, how can you go out to the broad if you don't go through the narrow, through the affliction that we got to go through? Following that same trail and that path that Yahushua went through. A lot of people not willing to do that. They want to go through the wide gate. They want to go through the churches, through these ABC camps where the money's at, 501c3 charters, these universities, whatever entrance they can get to. It's not going to get them to the Lord. They're going through the wrong doors. There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and it is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and it is set in a dangerous place to fall. See the point? Like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left hand a deep water. All right, so you got stuck between two afflictions, where we could drown and be suffocated, or fall and be burned and destroyed. But the Lord said what? And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man, just think about the mindset of Peter and the elect. If this city were given unto a man for an inheritance, so he was trying to reach that city, that golden city, the kingdom of heaven, like was promised to Abraham in faith. He didn't see it. Scriptures say that the kingdom of heaven come without observation. We can't see it, but it's in faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We represent that evidence of Yahushua, our faith. All right. So, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance, right? Even though we can't see it, we're willing to go through the dangers for that city that we can't see. That's faith. We know it's there. We know it's being built. Come to find out, we represent the city. We are the city that's being built. We know Yahushua is out there. All right. He says, what? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, man. This is our portion. This is what we got to go through. But the Lord said, what? Immediately he reached out his hand to keep us up, man. He's with us. He's a healer. He's our present help, our succorer. All right. It says, Psalms 46:1. Yahweh is our refuge and strength, a place to run into, and our strength in attack, in the fight, and to keep going. And a very present help in trouble, man. Very present help in trouble. All right, so let me run through a few more of these scriptures. Hebrews 11:6. But without faith, you gotta have faith, man. All right, faith, and faith is believing that someone exists and that he's going to do the things he said he's going to do. That's faith, and have a hope that they're going to do it, and that we're going to take part in that. All right. Faith is believing that he exists. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. He's walking on that water. For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. All right. He said, Lord, bid me to come out to you. And he said, come on. And we've been walking on water ever since. And we fall or stumble or look down, the Lord is right there to keep us up. That's what we're going to realize in the end. You know, or unless we realize it now, while he's calling us out there to him, making this moment even more sweeter, instead of being distracted by the things around you, or affected, or entangled by it, or stifled. All right, Matthew 25:1. This is Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be like unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. Just like Peter went forth out into the sea to meet him. And the virgins represent the elect, and the other half represent the 2/3. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish, meaning half and half. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. All right, so just like today, they're moving out into the water without faith, without the oil, without wisdom, without the proper understanding, and then they fall, and they're going to drown. These 2/3 false prophets. But the elect, it says, who shall be able to stand, right? They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps, man. All right? So the wise took that oil in their lamps. That's the elect. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight, there was a cry. See, just like with Peter, it was in the middle of the night, but it was 3 o'clock, but, you get the point. So in the midnight, there's a cry made. So we're in the midnight now. The 11th hour was really during the time of Abba Bivens and them. And now we're going into the midnight. The cry is being made, especially with Apostle Tahar and them. All right, GMS, the elders of GMS. Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. See, just like out in the water, out in the affliction, the water, the boisterous sea, the dangerous place to fall. And he said, what? Go ye out to meet him. All right. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. When you trim your lamp, you trim it so you can see clearly. It sharpens the vision. We trim our lamps by studying, by praying, by watching videos, being edified. At the right videos, not just some false doctrine. All right, so now let me get to the point. Get to the point, man. We move on. Matthew's. Let's go to 1 Samuel. Just so I don't run out of time. We're here, 49 minutes. 1 Samuel 2:9. So you can read that later. And you'll see that the 5 that were wise, they were accepted by the Lord. But the 5 that were foolish, they asked for information later. Hey, can you help me out? Can you teach me? It's going to be too late in that day, man. The men of the Lord are going to be, it's going to be a famine of the word. All right? So it's going to be too late. That's what I say, man. The further we walk away from the Lord, the farther we're going to have to walk back. So they join these camps, these IUIC, Sakari, ISUPK, GOCC, HODC, all these false camps, then that's the farther road they're going to have to walk back. And it's going to be too late. By the time they walk back, the elect going to be going up into the chariots. It says that. All right, in Matthew 25. They went into the marriage. 1 Samuel 2 and 9. He will keep the feet of his saints, man. See? Just how he kept Peter and grabbed him by his hand. He will keep our feet, man. See, that keep us from falling. And the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. Right, man? Not by our own strength. But this has to be. It's going to be miraculous through the Spirit of the Lord to keeping us up, keeping us alive. And either way, keeping us in the spirit of truth, keeping us in the righteous way, the right path, keeping us afloat. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king and exalt the horn of his anointed. And our king is going to be King David under Yahushua. Yahushua is the horn of our anointed. The horn represents something that's at the tip, the top point. That's Yahushua. All right? So, the Lord's going to keep our feet. He's doing that now. Because we already in the water. Matthew 8 and 38. Whosoever shall therefore be ashamed of me and of my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him also shall the Son of Man be ashamed when he cometh in the glory of his Father with the holy angels, man. And the Lord gonna say, come up hither to meet him in the air, man. And the angels gonna keep thee from falling, keep thee from dashing thy foot against a stone. Luke 9, 62. All right, this is Luke 9, 62. And Yahushua said unto him, so these are straight from the words of the Lord, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh, right? And that's going into the sea, going into the rough waters, going out to teach and doing his work. But if you look back, that's that falling into the water. But should you just drown? No. You cry out to the Lord for diligence. He said he upbraideth not. Instead, he'll reach and help you. He'll come in and sup with you. He'll grab you by your hand and guide you, lift you up, keep you from drowning. We just got to stop treading water, getting all wild and shit and panicking. And just focus. And follow. Not just focus, but follow. Follow what the Lord's saying in this moment so we don't miss it. All right, sometimes it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Isaiah 41 and 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. See, we shouldn't fear. That's what Peter did for a split second. He feared, and at that split second, it was a great fall, and the Lord caught him so he wouldn't perish. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness, man. The Lord is upholding us. And he promised us that. Keep our head afloat. Keep us from drowning, man. You got to know that. When your woman's going against you, when the world's going against you, your job, the bills, even yourself, your own negative thoughts. You got to trust in the Lord. Don't trust your own thoughts. Don't trust your own decisions. Trust what the Lord tells you to do. So, but to do that, you got to be edified and you got to read. Then you got to pray for understanding. Pray for diligence. Pray for guidance. Pray for endurance. Patience. All right, and the Lord's going to uphold us with the right hand of his righteousness, man. Spiritual. From drowning. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish, just like the boisterous sea in the wind. What did the Lord say to it? He rose up and said, "Peace, be still." He's gonna stop the winds. It's gonna be like it never existed, like a storm that passes over. It don't last forever, just like Esau's kingdom and their wickedness, rushing in as a flood, as a destroying wind. The Lord said, "What? Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them." Talking about these nations. Even them that contended with thee, they that war against thee, shall be as nothing. Just like the wind was contrary to Peter. Just like Esau and these nations are contrary to us. But they're going to be as nothing. For I, Yahweh, thy power, will uphold thee, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Come on with it, man. Same thing he said to Peter, don't fear, man. I'm right here, I got you. Verse 14, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. All right, shalom. Keep your head up.